All right, Blazers tomorrow night, first exhibition game against the Jazz in Salt Lake City. Team flew there today. Obviously, it's not on TV. That's why we're here, and they're there. And one guy who is there and joins the program now is our friend and yours, Terry Stotts, the head coach. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. I miss you guys. I wish you were here.
Yeah, we miss you too. We just saw you last night, though. And one thing you said when you walked in, and I happened to be sitting there by the press table, and you walked in, kind of looked up at the 300 level, saw that filling up. That's pretty crazy. I mean, Blazer fans we know are very, very good, but for a free scrimmage to, get 14,000 or whatever they said, and looking up at the upper deck and seeing it start to fill up, that's pretty impressive.
No, last night was, where we were, and seeing everybody just file into their seats. And then, once the game started, you have over 13,000 people there. And it was just it was a really good environment to see. It shows the appreciation the fans have for our team. And, really, you guys have been around it, but I've seen some players who, can kind of say, no, go ahead, let those young guys play. I'm good. But all our guys wanted to be out there and play, and it was just a good night for basketball.
What does that mean players can say the right things, but you see them all the time. What does that mean to players? And I mean when it comes to like a Chris Kaman choosing Portland over other options, or Steve Blake, and obviously Steve has a history here, but the fan support, and we can say that, and it sounds like window dressing a little bit, but what does that mean to guys when they know they have that support and they know they're going to be playing in a packed house in a great environment every night?
Well, free agents, when they're making decisions, obviously the financial consideration is paramount. But after you get past that, you want to look at a winning situation, but you want to enjoy going to work every day. And, we have two great places to go to work. Our practice facility is one of the best, if not the best in the league. And then you go to the Motor Center, and the fan support there. I mean, you get juiced up to walk into that arena, and then when the ball tips up and the fans are into it, it does make a difference.
I looked on the schedule and I thought we might televise this Utah game, and I was going to surprise you and take out the whole staff to Fleming's, but we didn't televise it. So
never mind.
I didn't get the chance, Coach.
So when's your first road trip?
That would be Sacramento on the Halloween night game.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, they have steak places there too.
Yes, they do. And we will remind him of that, certainly.
Yes.
I may be under the weather that trip. Now, looking. I watched most of the practices, all the practices, and you really worked hard on defense. And I thought the first half, it really showed signs. Everyone would say, well, they didn't shoot well the first half. But I thought your defense, and usually in inter-squad scrimmage, no one plays defense, but I thought your guys really were getting after it. What did you think about the first half?
Well, a little bit of both. I did think that we missed a lot of shots, and that's the tough thing when you're playing against yourselves is you want to credit the defense, but then you want to say that we missed some shots that we can make. So that's why it's always tough to come away from a scrimmage because somebody either did really well or really poorly. So I thought our half-court defense overall was pretty good. I liked our alertness on the weak side, our help defense. The effort's been good all week defensively. I was disappointed with some of our transition baskets that we gave up that shouldn't have happened. One time we shot a three at one end and gave up a layup at the other. So things like that, I was disappointed. But, on the whole, like you said, Coach, you've been watching this practice. I think the focus has really been good, and the attention to detail has been good. So at this stage, I'm pleased with where we are, but, we'll find out where we are tomorrow night.
Now, you haven't had a lot of chance to put units together. Mainly you've been mixing them and matching them. And when you start looking at the second unit guys, will it be more important for them to really show defense or know more about what they're doing on the offensive end for you to settle on somebody on that second unit in the rotation?
Well, It's a combination of both. And it's probably whatever is the net positive. If I'd like for them to, whoever it is, to contribute at both ends of the court, obviously. And if a guy makes a couple shots, that's always great. But if he has a couple defensive brain locks, then that's not so good. So, so many guys come into this league as offensive players, and they're gonna. I think CJ and Will have grown offensively, and I think they're more comfortable. I think defense. Same thing with Myers, is that's their room to grow. They have more room to grow in that area. But for me, it's going to be the net benefit of having a guy on the court and how they mix with certain units. And I'm still 2 or 3 weeks away from deciding what any rotation is going to be. But I like the approach that all our young guys are having right now, and that's going out there, trying to concentrate mentally on what they're supposed to do and giving the effort physically to do it right.
You return so many guys, Coach. It has to make it kind of nice where you're not having to teach your system as much maybe in the early part of training camp. And the first day of camp, watching that first practice, all of a sudden you guys are running the offense. And Blake, I was talking to him right after the practice, and he kind of laughed and said, I really don't know the motion offense. He said, I ran it a little bit this summer, but you just kind of told him, hey, just start doing it and you'll pick it up. And sure enough, he did. And it seemed like it was not a first practice or a first week practice. Is that the case? Were you able to put more in quicker because you had so many, not only returning guys, but even the new guys you brought in were veterans?
No, the fact that we have 13 guys made the practice go much smoother. And, you're right, that first practice, one of the first drills we did was almost predicated on knowing the offense. And, Steve's a smart player, so is Chris. And, the concept of our motion offense, they were able to pick up in September to a degree and were relatively comfortable with it. But, it really makes things go a lot easier when you don't have to break down everything and just, even if Chris and Steve weren't picking it up, the fact that other 13 guys do it reminds me of a college program where, the seniors graduate and you've got some incoming freshmen. And I remember Mike Montgomery saying, the seniors just taught the freshmen. So in this case, the guys coming back are helping the new guys, and it makes the transition easier for everybody.
The backup point guard position at Mo Williams, he played the position a little differently than a guy like Steve Blake. Is it easier to get Steve Blake in because he looks for other people before he looks for scoring, or are you going to need more scoring from him on that second unit? How is he going to fit in?
Well, I don't think we're going to look for the same scoring as Mo. We needed Mo to score last year. Mo's strength is pushing the ball and scoring the ball, and Steve's strength is pushing the ball and making other players better and finding shots for other players. So I think the way Steve approaches the backup point guard position is going to be different than Mo. Hopefully, when he's out there with CJ or Will or T-Rob or Myers or Chris Kaman, he's able to complement them such that, he's not scoring, but the team is scoring. And, I know obviously the bench has gotten criticized over the last year about not scoring, but I do think that having Steve out there and the maturation of some of the young guys is going to make that, I think that's going to help the scoring off the bench.
Frontline depth is nice to have, of course, and you guys have length at pretty much every position, and adding Kaman now to the inside. We were talking about Myers Leonard, and it looks like the game is slowing down for him a little bit. It certainly has in training camp. He did some good things last night. And Joel Freeland certainly hasn't taken any steps back. In fact, he looks a little leaner, and staying here certainly helped him. Thomas Robinson has done some nice things, and, of course, you got Robin and Chris. I mean, you got some choices to make there, and you got some depth, and that's a good thing.
Well, it is a good thing, and, it'll all sort itself out. Personally, I'll have to take a different approach than I've taken the last couple of years. Our starting lineup has been very effective, and as long as they're healthy and they're out there, they're going to play. After that, we'll see how it works out. But I do think that, and I've mentioned a few times that CJ and Will and T-Rob and Myers and Joel have all gotten better, and AC and Alan Crabb as well. They've all gotten better, but there's a limited amount of minutes. So they all know those minutes are up for grab, and I can't say right now that it's going to be a consistent rotation. It's 3 weeks away. But for me, if they play well on the court, they stay on the court, we're able to rest our starters, they're able to build on a lead or take a lead or take a tie game and build a lead, that increases their opportunity. But I'm excited about what we are capable of doing. And, it will be a challenge if everybody stays healthy. It will be a challenge for me to decide what lineups to go with and who to play and who to keep on the court. But as you mentioned, that's a good problem to have. Nonetheless, we won 54 games with the starters staying healthy. So we'll see how it goes.
Has Will Barton mentioned to you that he is the people's champ?
You know what? He has not mentioned that face to face. I've certainly heard it through the grapevine.
Okay.
Coach, thank you. Enjoy the game tomorrow night. Sad we can't be there with you, but get a victory and come back home.
Hey, Coach, I look forward to seeing you on the road next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get the wallet out as well.
Fleming's.
Yes.
I could taste it now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't hold your breath for that. But
yeah. All right. See you guys.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Terry Stotts, head coach of the Trailblazers.